Hey everybody, Sabi here, giving you an update, even though there's not much to update this in terms of reversal. But look at that weekly candle sitting here on the weekly chart, and this is very ominous looking. It hasn't closed yet, but it looks very ominous. And the only thing that I could think of with this type of price action is mimicking this type of price action that we had back in 2023, March of 2023, where you had a fake out to the downside. The candle actually closed a higher low. Would really like to see that from here. It's just not very likely at this point, but it has a few days to go, and things are getting pretty overextended there. Kind of revisiting previous all-time highs. It's getting a lot lower than I would like as far as a reaccumulation formation, but I would have also expected some kind of bounce. But there are no higher highs happening on any time frame yet, so the alignment is down for now. So what do we take from that? Well, I was looking over the chart and was thinking about Camel Finance and the cycle low and double idea, and looked over this entire bull market and looked at the price action when we had a cycle low and double, and looked at each rally, and like you would have a rally up and then price comes back down. And I measured each one of them, and you can see this rally ended up retracing 50%. So it's like it rallies, it doubles in price, then retraces 50%, then rallies again. And then off of that, you had the next rally that then retraced 50%. It came to the zero point 0.5 fib on that rally. The next rally didn't actually retrace 50%. This one came very shallow to the 382. But when you extend the rally up, well, you'd have to get into linear scale. Let's change it over to linear scale. This did, this whole rally did end up retracing 50% and then went on a doubling. And let's check current price action from the low to the high. We're just now getting into the 50% retrace. So for this entire rally up, what we've been getting is 50% retrace and then double. So price often does that where it is in a strong uptrend. It'll double in price, give back half those gains, and then double again, and then give back half the gains and double again. So there is some optimism there where you would potentially have a doubling coming out of here. What does that look like? Hard to say for now. I think the weekly candle close will be very telling. I would certainly like to see this immediately reverse by Sunday and close at about 93,800 just to be above those previous lows. If the weekly candle closes somewhere down here, then that's a lower low. You sell the lower high. And that's, well, all the bull markets that I've seen, that is pretty reliable to look for a weekly candle close lower low, and then you sell the lower high, and you just get out until price makes a higher high close. So say price does close down in this vicinity, you would sell the lower high at around 100K, maybe grabbing this liquidity thereafter. But if price ends up closing up there at 104, that's a higher high, then you buy the higher low at previous support and then expect price to push up. So it really depends on how the candles close. I would like to see a sharp reversal, but getting the bottom of that, I mean, price hasn't bottomed yet, obviously, but once it does, if it does mimic what happened in 2023, then it would give us a nice Elliott wave pattern where you have ABC up for wave 1, correction, then ABC up for wave 3, correction, then ABC up for wave 5. And that would be like an ending diagonal pattern. So this current retracement, in my opinion, does not look like a wave 4. That is no longer a wave 4 of the impulse. So the most bullish thing I can think of is an ABC type of scenario, where we are making an ending diagonal. So from here, you have this as an ABC. This one, you also have the ABC. And then on the linear scale, you would have what looks like an ABC, giving you a 5-wave impulse that's just very choppy. So there's your bullish hopium for now, but you need price to tell you that it wants to do that. So far, price has not said that in the least little bit. Let's zoom down to a daily chart. So I'm not sure if Elliot Wave is going to help you on this, but say that potentially this is some weird looking ABC with a very truncated C, which does indicate bearishness. The count that you would have to say we're completing sometime soon is some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 waves in that first wave, and then came off of this C leg is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and working on a 5 somewhere down here. Where does that 5 end up? Well, wouldn't it be fitting if we got a $30,000 drop in the past few weeks, going from 109,358 to 79,358? That might be an area of interest. Maybe that CME gap fills. I think we are in backwardation ever so slightly, which suggests that you'll have a bounce coming soon. But nothing says bounce yet on the daily. And generally, when the RSI is this low, you kind of wait for it to reclaim back above the 30 and then make a lower low on price to get yourself some bullish divergence on a daily, and then you would expect a lower low in price with a higher low on the RSI. We're in no no condition to get that at these prices. This has no local bullish divergence, though it is the lowest the RSI has been since August of 2023. So it's been a while back. That was your wave 2, technically. And now we're bringing the RSI back to the wave 2, which, well, that could be a wave 4. Then all of this is wave 3, and then your wave 4 is actually going to come down a little deeper. Don't know yet. So on the daily, no sign of reversal. You have nothing but down candles here, lower lows, lower highs. You actually need to close a candle above 85, probably 85K, somewhere on that wick right there. If you get a daily candle closure there, that could reverse the trend a bit, give you a nice bounce. Locally here, the 4-hour chart, we are very much in a downtrend. Everything is aligned down. You have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. So far we have the lowest 4-hour candle closure going on right there. Well, right about 80K. Let's check what the Elliott waves look like from an extension standpoint. If I was to measure this being your wave 1, 2, this is wave 3, 4 is a running flat. So I will measure waves 1 and 3 and project from the expectation of wave 4. Gives you a target of 78,501. That would be an area to look for a small uptrend to come out of. See if you get it. As far as matching patterns, I'm not seeing anything that matches really well other than this being an ABC down, very small sideways and then big drop, small sideways and then big drop. So maybe it comes in around the 78,000, could get down as far as it wants really. but the 4-hour is at no risk of putting in an uptrend until it closes 4-hour candle above the daily open. That's currently at 84,625. So if price action comes and makes a higher high close above that high, you can try to buy the higher low at support, 82,000, and see if you get a nice bounce taking these liquidities up at 89,000 and maybe have some short squeeze that might push it higher. So that's the main time frame that I'm currently looking at, is the 4-hour. That gives you a fairly reliable signal for a bounce, if as soon as it makes a higher high, but we haven't been able to do that. So it's, if you're wanting to buy the dip, it's been sitting on your hands waiting for it to stop dipping, essentially. 1-hour chart, down to the nitty gritty here, same difference. You need to close a 1-hour candle above the daily open, above 84,625 to get an uptrend. So the 1-hour makes a higher high close there. You can try to buy the dip there at 82,000. Stop loss will go at the low, but we're in no hurry on this. This is not, it's not showing any signs of reversal at all. Getting down to the nosebleeds here in the 15-minute, same difference. We still have all the way down, lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, still lower high, still didn't close above that high. They're making sure that they don't close an uptrend until they want to. And this is still lower low, lower high, lower low close. So still firmly in a downtrend until it's not. Is this pattern completing anytime soon? Yeah, maybe. That'd be some kind of wave 4, and you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 working on wave 5. Perhaps, but I think I was counting this as a wave 4, so technically this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5 gets a little lower. But yeah, need to see some kind of change in behavior. So far we have nothing. This is just like a bull run, where price just keeps pushing up, and you're waiting for a retrace that never happens. The same thing is happening here, where it just keeps going down and down, and you're waiting for a retrace to happen, and your inclination is to buy the dip and play a bounce, but the bounces are very lackluster. Definitely not closing any higher highs and higher lows on any significant time frame. So if you were to play any bounce, say you get a 15-minute higher high close, try to buy the higher low, you're playing a bounce into the 1-hour lower high, until it closes a higher high. Then you buy the higher low. But coming out of this, we have a nice 3 drives pattern down, 1, 2, 3. That could be a nice downward sloping accumulation, for a nice bounce. That has to start the bounce. So bringing it back to the weekly full circle here, this closing, if this closes Sunday way down here, or bounces up a little bit and closes at, say, 85 or something like that, you're making a lower low, and then you have to be on guard at liquidity here for the lower high. So then you would have the lower low, lower high, and you're actually going to start some kind of bear market. Might be a mini bear market. We could have 5 waves complete here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're working on an ABC down. And you could come all the way down to 40, 30, 35,000. Something like that could be happening. I don't quite think that's happening yet, but I'm open to the idea. Yeah, if this weekly candle closes a lower low, watch out for a lower high. And I would suspect the correction would last until beginning of June, most likely. So hope that was helpful. As soon as we do get a higher high and a higher low, you can try to buy the dip and keep the stops tight and have a good night.